Alright, so we're back from the track, but unfortunately I don't have any good news. I got up on top of the tires, turned old Peg Leg Penny around, and hit the wall backwards. So I guess let's get the pickup and trailer turned around and back it up close enough, and then we'll pull Peg Leg off the trailer for an examination of the damage. All right, first point of contact, the edge of the frame rail. It surprisingly didn't touch the leaf spring shackle, but it definitely grabbed the rim and tire. Just completely broke the lip off of that, tore the tire. I do need to put the truck in tool drive, spin it to see if the axle shaft itself is bent, so we'll do that real quick. All right, so let's see if we got a wobble in it. So I think we got pretty lucky on the axle shaft deal. I'll go in there and closely make sure that's what it was, but I'm pretty sure we've seen it both. As soon as I looked at the inside lip, there's no movement whatsoever. So that's nice to know that my axle shaft isn't bent. But the whole axle's sitting cockeyed in the chassis. So here was the most noticeable damage was, if you can see, this part of the leaf spring here is nice and hewed from it being folded. And then you can see the CalTrak bar, of course, being folded, which makes sense in my opinion. If the axle's being ramrodded this way, the CalTrak bar is going this way, which rotates it, which folds that. But here's the other part of damage that I have found. If you can see that that bracket is not straight up and down, it's kind of folded inward. So that's kind of the first major deal. It is right below my roll cage outrigger, so I'm gonna have to go in and make sure that nothing cracked or got damaged on that deal. Here's the other side for comparison, straight up and down. And then another thing that gave it a dead giveaway that the frame was slightly bent and tweaked was right how my radiator's mounted. So it's solidly mounted, there's these on each side of it, and what I noticed was is it's pushed into that radiator pretty good. It's actually kind of bent the radiator slightly inward like that. And then the top side, I can see a witness mark from it jolting it. But from visual perspectives, it looks almost laser straight. But with that axle leaf spring setup and Caltrac all bent up, of course you can see the whole thing's crab walking. So the one nervous thing that makes me nervous about anything is when the axle turns this way, it allows the pinion or the drive shaft to travel forward. And I'm not sure how much more clearance is in that T-case. The problem is when it impacts and it does all this, it doesn't just bend and stay right there. It bends, it goes past it, and then comes back. So I'm worried if it bottomed out in the back of the T-case and possibly damaged some stuff in the transmission and the T-case. So I'm going to have to pull the drive shaft out and just look at it real closely and pull the blanket off the back of the transmission and just make sure there isn't any cracks in the bell housing or anything in my transmission. Is kind of what I'm mostly concerned about. The rest of this crap is pretty fixable. I mean, I think literally a rim, a tire, a Caltrac bar, a leaf spring from the junkyard, and I'll go in there and figure out how to straighten out the leaf spring hanger itself, whether that be actually like porta powering it from the other side or actually just hacking it off and going and getting another one from the junkyard and bolting it in. So I really don't have much to say about it other than I was an idiot and I had the mindset to just stay in it, because out here on the street, I figure this out every time I go to the track. It's not the first time this has happened to me. Street tires on a freaking glued racetrack is greasy. But out here on chip seal or crap asphalt or something like that, it seems like these street tires will at least somewhat bite in about midway through second gear. Where this thing, you know, with my mindset being where it was, I'm saying, I'm okay, it's going to go out a certain amount of feet and it's going to hook up. But you just got to drive through, which I've always have. This time, it didn't. It went out on first gear, it rode on top of the limiter. I grabbed second gear immediately. Still riding on the limiter, slightly skating around. And then I rode it out on the limiter for so long that thinking that maybe it caught traction finally. And as soon as I grabbed third gear, she turned right around on me. So it did not settle the tires in at all. So it's kind of disappointing considering, you know, I've drove the crap out of it out here on my own street and it hooks midway through second gear. Like, it's not that bad, but out there on that racetrack, it's like the slickest thing in the world. So the only thing I can say about it is I'm really thankful it did end up the way it did. Nobody was in the other lane next to me, thankfully. And she spun around and she came probably within 10-15 mile an hour before it hit the wall, so it wasn't a very hard hit. It was definitely a hit. Like, it definitely messed some stuff up, but it definitely could have been so much more worse. I mean, the thing could have been up on its lid. I could have hit the front end, the side, the body. Like, the thing could have been a whole loss. So I'll lick my wounds over this one and just be thankful that I still have a fully complete rig with some minor repair work that needs to be done. So, first lesson, I'm not taking this truck out again until it is on all four slicks or all four radials. And yeah, that's really about it. I mean, and don't overdrive it. Don't keep my foot so deep in it, think it's going to drive through it when it's not. I mean, I need to get into the habit of pedaling something. It's just, and here's the reason why that I don't like pedaling this thing, is it has a blow-through carburetor on it. And when you pedal it, oh my gosh, it feels like it floods out. And then when you floor back into it, it stumbles and blah, 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 and then it'll light back up. And it's terribly slow and inconsistent. So I don't like pedaling the thing. I like just trying to make it ride out under wide open throttle like every racer does, but definitely need to understand the balance now that I've finally gotten this thing so out of control that it hit the wall. So now I know its limits pretty well. Anyways, folks, I'm going to end the video off here. I got a lot of stuff to do. Honestly, this might be on the back burner for a little bit because I got to put my Ford Power Stroke back together. The machine shop's getting awfully close getting that engine together. Or not together, but at least machined for me to assemble. And yeah, so hopefully we can get everything taken care of and get Peg Leg Penny back on its feet and go racing again, because I have a real bad urge to race. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.